Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Manchester United are entering a defining summer under new manager Ruben Amorim, with no European distractions and no room for excuses. The Portuguese tactician is under pressure to deliver from day one, and that means getting it right in the transfer market. United have already splashed £62.5 million on Matheus Cunha and are pressing hard with a 60mm bid for Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo. But that's just the start. With potential exits for Marcus Rashford, Antony, Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho on the table, and a bold pursuit of Sporting's Victor Gyokeres underway, the rebuild is on full throttle. Meanwhile, former PSG defender Thomas Meunier has shared his undying affection for the club, even if a move remains a distant dream. Manchester United have a pivotal summer ahead in order to quickly turn around their fortunes. There is no European football and no excuses next season, and Ruben Amorim must hit the ground running to prove himself as United boss. The Portuguese coach is set for his first pre-season in charge of the club and will be hopeful of seeing an improvement. Of course, transfers in and out of Old Trafford will be required. United have already signed Matheus Cunha and are pushing for Brentford star Bryan Mbeumo. The Red Devils have upped their bid to £60 million for the latter, having splashed £62.5 million on Cunha. And there are the exits of Marcus Rashford, Antony, Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho to arrange. No easy task. Mirror Football takes a look at the latest transfer news and rumours around Old Trafford. Manchester United are in position to make a move Victor Gyokeres and could leap ahead of Arsenal. Speculation over a move to Old Trafford has been rife since Ruben Amorim's arrival, though missing out on European football was expected to be a blow. It is understood that the Swede has not been perturbed, however, and is open to the move. Gyokeres is valued at around £65, a figure shy of his releasey clause after the forward made an agreement with Sporting to Riemann last summer. With Arsenal occupied by Benjamin Sesko currently, it is reported United have financially readied themselves to do a deal. Jadon Sancho has no intention of wearing Manchester United colours again per ESPN, despite Chelsea footing up £5 plans to avoid signing him on a permanent deal. And that stance matches that of his head coach, Ruben Amorim, though the pair have yet to work together. Sancho returned 5 goals and 10 assists in 42 appearances across all competitions for Chelsea, helping them win the Conference League. The winger failed to set the world alight at Stamford Bridge, however, leaving interest in his signature uncertain. There is said to be tentative interest from West Ham in a deal, but Sancho's wages are likely to prove problematic. The former Borussia Dortmund has another year left on his contract with United. Former Paris Saint-Germain defender Thomas Meunier has admitted he would have loved to make a move to Manchester United. The Lille fullback, 33, has revealed he would quickly accept a transfer to the club if it was on the table. The Belgian international, who has 1 year remaining on his contract, also appears to accept that any chance of a deal is now gone. Meunier conceded a move to the 13 times Premier League champions could damage his affection for the club. Meunier told Gazet van Antwerpen, "If they ever ask me, I'll cycle there, United. But maybe it's better this way. Suppose I play there and have a bad time. I wouldn't want to hate Manchester United because I love that club so much. I went to watch them a few weeks ago against Bilbao. In with the fans, singing fully, I am a real one. I go to watch them at least once every season. But of all the home games I've seen in all those years, they've only won 2. You have to have a self-cruelty side to be a United supporter, right?" Few managers in football history delivered a verbal jab quite like Sir Alex Ferguson, and even fewer players wore it as well as Paul Ince. Back in 1998, during a heated pre-match talk ahead of Manchester United's clash with Liverpool, the legendary boss labelled his former midfielder a fucking big-time Charlie, a comment captured on camera and etched into Premier League folklore. Decades later, what might have been a career-defining insult has aged into a moment of reflection, mutual respect and even friendship. Ince, who once starred for both United and Liverpool, now chuckles at the remark, admitting, "Am I a big-time Charlie? Probably, yeah." But it never broke the bond between the fiery midfielder and the iconic Scot. If anything, it revealed the intensity of their shared football DNA. Today, the two men still lock horns, albeit over snooker, not silverware, proving that behind the legendary rants and rivalries, real relationships endure. Sir Alex Ferguson's barbs were notorious for their sting and their ability to stick, just ask former Manchester United midfielder Paul Ince. Back in April 1998, ahead of a Premier League showdown with Liverpool, Sir Alex was dishing out his tactical wisdom. His focus sharpened on the Red Star and ex-United ace Ince, who had made the switch from Inter Milan the previous summer. Ferguson's voice rose, not quite to the decibel-shattering heights of his infamous hairdryer rants, but enough to command undivided attention. It was during this team talk, famously captured by cameras for the Granada documentary The Alex Ferguson Story, that he unleashed an iconic put-down of the ex-England international. "If he tries to bully you, he will fucking enjoy it. Don't ever let him bully you." "Right," bellowed the Scot, his words immortalised by the lens. "You just make sure you are ready for him. That's all you need to worry about. He's a fucking big-time Charlie." Those 4 words encapsulated Ferguson's disdain for oversized egos within the squad. By 2008, the legendary manager expressed regret over those remarks, labelling them a mistake and vowing to keep cameras away from his motivational speeches henceforth. In a candid chat with the Manchester Evening News, Ince, while representing Bet365, agreed with his former manager and now close friend. He said, "Am I a big-time Charlie? Probably, yeah. I played for the biggest clubs in the world. You've got to have that kind of arrogance, not to the extent people don't like you. But you've got to have some kind of big-time mindset to play for the biggest clubs in the world." In a way, he was right, but it's nothing that was ever going to affect me because I know how close we were. A decade on from Fergie putting his words out there for all to see, Ince was managing Blackburn Rovers against his old boss. Reflecting on the past remarks before the game, Ferguson said, "I regret saying that. That was a mistake. We let a camera into our dressing room, which we had never done before, and it won't happen again. It wasn't a personality issue with Paul. With Paul, you could not have a honeymoon all the time because he was such a volatile character, but he never let us down." Revisiting the legendary manager's moment of remorse, an event rarely witnessed during or after his illustrious career, Ince said, "Listen, people seem to have the impression that me and Sir Alex Ferguson never got on. I used to speak to him all the time, and when I was managing Blackburn Rovers, I was on the phone to him all the time. When he said it, I was playing for Liverpool, and really I think he was trying to wind up the likes of Roy Keane and say, 'Oh, Ince, he's just a big-time Charlie,' and all this type of stuff. Things like that didn't affect me. Maybe it would with players from today, but not Paul Ince back in my time. The fact that he regretted saying it was neither here nor there. The comment did not affect our friendship." Today, the ex-United manager and the former midfielder enjoy a bond that withstands the test of time and competition. That does not mean they have stopped competing against each other, though. "I will always go to his house and play snooker and kick his ache, and I will always pick my phone up to ring him," Ince added with a chuckle, highlighting the strong relationship that spans over 3 decades. Paul Ince was speaking on behalf of Bet365, the official global partner of the UEFA Champions League. Bet365 have given away more than 3,000 UEFA Champions League tickets to fans this season, including the semi-finals and final. Full terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. Full interview can be found at Bet365 News.